This is the Private Officer Beat Radio with Rick McCann at the microphone. Hello, everyone, and thanks for joining us on this edition of the Private Officer Beat Radio, a production of Blue Ram Media Group, LLC, and Private Officer International, the voice of the Frontline Protector. And I'm Rick McCann, your host, as always, with a lot to talk about on this edition. We've got some very special news, exciting news to tell you about today. We'll be talking more about that right after our first break in segment 2. And unfortunately, we have some saddening news to also announce. This past week, 3 known security officers were murdered on the job, and a 4th one who was off duty was murdered and possibly was tracked and ambushed because of the job that he was employed in. This week, we're going to be kicking off the schedule for the upcoming year. We'll be talking about all of the great things we've got planned for the new 2023 year, and we're excited to tell you about all of that as well. And of course, we got a lot of breaking news, just like always. Remember, you can follow us on our social media platforms, twitter.com/private officer, and come on over to Facebook and join the conversation at facebook.com/Private Officer International. And always read the daily news blog. We only post fresh, important news that is all about private security and law enforcement at privateofficerbreakingnews.blogspot.com. Many of you have contacted us on social media and by email, letting us know that you really enjoyed the 3-part segment that we just concluded last week, talking about allegiance and alliances and how important they are. Many of you even told us about what you're doing in your community and how you work with local police. Despite what some areas have been known for as far as not cooperating so much with private security, we see time and time again that loss prevention agents, mall security, and uniform security are working well with some of the local police agencies. So we're going to be talking about that in this exciting announcement coming up here shortly, and how we're going to enhance that communication by putting something together that's going to bring both sides to the table. And I will tell you this, I am extremely excited. Also coming out in just a matter of a few weeks, before Christmas, we will be releasing the first TV production of our TV show called Some Gave All, about the life and death of private security officers and private law enforcement across the country. And in this program, we'll be highlighting not only how they died, but how they lived. And we're very excited about that as well. Remember, you can contact us at helpdesk@privateofficer.com and be part of this solution to making our industry better. Let us know what's happening in your area. Send us the news. Let us know if a security officer deserves to be recognized, or a police officer. Just this past year, we presented 3 Purple Hearts to law enforcement and 5 Purple Hearts to private security. We've also presented numerous awards of valor, bravery, and distinguished service to private security and law enforcement. Helpdesk@privateofficer.com. That is your point of reference, your point of contact. Be sure to give us a heads up. We're also going to be discussing some of the great training opportunities. We kind of went over that a little bit last week in the program. We'll be going over it once more this week as we start closing out the 2022 year. And I also, before going to the first break, want to remind you that since COVID is, well, not over, but more under control than it has been, we have decided here at Private Officer International to again reopen our chapters. If you're interested in being a chapter manager, we encourage you to sending us an email at helpdesk@privateofficer.com. And a big shout out to my friend Keith Bartley. He is a law enforcement officer and a security company owner. He is doing something very unique in his community in Indiana. We'll be talking about that on the show as well. A friend of mine is currently in Vietnam on vacation with his family. Hope that his travels are safe. Big shout out to him. Another friend of mine is currently on vacation. He has gone to France. And I'll tell you what, he tried to convince me to go with him. And boy, was that almost... It was so difficult. It was almost a yes for me, but with so much going on, I just couldn't do it. Peter, I hope that you have a great time. Be safe in your travels. Look forward to seeing some pictures when you get back. We're going to take our first break. When I come back, a very special announcement here on the Private Officer Beat Radio.
There was the explosion, and I remember just opening my eyes, and it got both of my legs. I had surgery after surgery, and what's going to happen next? The Wounded Warrior Project said, look, brother, everything's going to be okay. 3 months from now, 4 months from now, a year from now, you'll be fine. I don't know if I would be as well adjusted as I am now if it wasn't for them.
To learn more, call 1-877-832-6997 or visit woundedwarriorproject.org.
Turn around, don't drown, your car is not a boat. Turn around, don't drown, your car, it will not float. So when the water starts to rise, open your eyes, have yourself a plan. Use your head and think, don't let your dreams sink, it's just that easy, you can. Turn around, don't drown, your car is not a boat.
Welcome back to the Private Officer Beat Radio on this Monday morning. And some of you are listening by streaming afterwards on the more than 27 platforms that our program is streamed on, both live as well as streaming 24/7. Some of you download the radio show and then listen to it later on when you have a moment. Thank you for doing that. Be sure to pass it around. Make sure that your fellow officers, even the bosses, get a chance to listen in on the radio show. Many comments come in about how the show is used not only to enlighten other security professionals about what's happening in the field, but also as a point of training. It has, over the years, really had a following. The radio program has had a following just for the points of training and information. And be sure, not everybody has signed up for our breaking news alerts. Go to our website at privateofficer.org. A box is going to drop down, and you can put in your name and email address and get those breaking news immediately sent to your mailbox. And while you're there, if you're not already a member of Private Officer International, of course, you're going to want to be a member. So sign up just for $99 lifetime membership. You can become a member, receive more than 40 member benefits, get discounted and free training, and so much more. PrivateOfficer.org. Sign up to be a member. sign up for those free breaking news alerts right now. You're definitely going to benefit from it. Well, we have started over the last 3 weeks during our conversations about alliances and allegiance. We've started that conversation about how we need each other, how we need the various components to be able to do the job today, and to even bring that many steps forward. We have decided here at POI to begin the conversation. You see, the problem in the private security industry is that we just don't communicate with each other. We don't take any steps forward. We don't initiate very well. And here at POI, I have decided that we're going to make a difference. We're going to be the difference, and we're going to take those first steps. So, starting in January, we will begin scheduling roundtables with law enforcement and private security companies. We're going to invite them to a day-long event, and we're going to be talking, first of all, in the first half of the day about private security, what they do, how the industry has changed, and highlight some of the dangers and some of the remarkable apprehensions and arrests, some of the use of force incidents, and really show law enforcement and other community members how dangerous it is and how heroic security has been. In the second half of the day, after we feed everybody lunch, then we're going to come back and we're going to sit around and have a conversation between law enforcement and security. Not looking at any expectations, but kind of sharing how we all need to collectively pool our resources, our intel, and our services so that we can have a better outcome in protecting our communities. Now, you might think, or you might say, well, that's never going to work. They're never going to come around. Well, you're not going to know until we try it, and so we will be trying it. We have already picked the first 2 states to invite to the roundtables. They will be held in individual states, and that will make it more personal because it will be state collective talking. It'll be the agencies within the state, the security companies that operate within the state. We'll also have loss prevention agents, mall security, and all areas of the private security industry and private law enforcement in states that allow it. So the first 2 states, which will begin in January, will be Tennessee and North Carolina. Those introductions are going out to those police departments. We're going to ask them to RSVP. We're sending out invitations and making arrangements for a day-long event in several areas of those 2 states. Once we collectively put all of the information and kind of look at how those 2 states went, we will begin to expand it first along the southeast region where we have a greater reach as an organization, and then to the Atlantic coast and Midwest, and finally out to the west. In the meantime, if you want to put this together, if you want to coordinate with us to get your hometown or your home state police in the room with security and have this roundtable in your state, contact helpdesk@privateofficer.com, and you can jump the schedule. So even though we might not be coming to the West Coast until later in 2023, we'll come out there ahead of time if you help coordinate this with us. Helpdesk@privateofficer.com if you want to learn more about this. Do not be negative. Do not be one of those oh no, it's never going to work. We don't want to hear from you if that's your mindset. If you want to have a coordinated effort at reducing crime in your community and your state, if you want to make a difference and be the difference, then you contact helpdesk@privateofficer.com. When I come back from this next break, another very exciting announcement coming your way, and then we'll talk, sadly, about the security officers who lost their lives in recent days. You're listening to the voice of the Frontline Protector, a production of Blue Ram Media Group, LLC, and PrivateOfficer.com, here on the Private Officer Beat Radio.
What am I doing lying in this casket? Oh yeah, that's right. I'm dead. I got shot. I'm not supposed to be dead. I'm only 17, and now I can't see my 18th birthday because I'm a fatal victim of gun violence. My friends, my family, my own mother was devastated. Can't see her son anymore because of gun violence. And everyone's here at the funeral. But before they lay me to rest, there's just one last thing I have to do. How many more of us have to die from gun violence? Let's put a stop to this, because if we don't, the next time it could be your child lying in this casket.
Brought to you by Men Up Inc. USA, a proud member of the Gun Violence Awareness Movement.
When we're responding to emergency runs, we need everybody's help to get there as fast as we can. So when you see the lights, move to the right.
Nurse, I need you to apply pressure to the head wound until I can get to it. I'm concerned she's lost too much blood.
Oh, no.
You in the corner, who are you? You're not supposed to be here.
She's my girlfriend, Doctor.
You need to wait out in the waiting room.
Please, Doctor, I want to stay with her.
Look, she's been badly injured. So if you want to do what's best for her, you need to let us do our work.
Please, Doctor, she has to be okay. I didn't mean to do this. I love her.
Wait a second. You were the driver?
Yes, but I didn't mean to. I swear, we went to dinner. I was just buzzed. I only had a few drinks.
Just buzzed? Why didn't you tell us that? In that case, your girlfriend is fine.
Hey, sweetie. I feel great. You want to get out of here?
I can't believe this. Really, Doctor? She's really okay?
What, are you kidding? No, not really. Nurse, get me a suture kit. Stat.
Buzzed driving. Maybe we should stop acting like it's no big deal. Buzzed driving is drunk driving. A public service announcement brought to you by the U.S. Department of Transportation, the Ad Council, and this state.
Welcome back to the Private Officer Beat Radio on this Monday morning. Another big announcement coming out of the POI corporate offices. I don't know if you have noticed, if you received the POI newsletters, but over the last 6 months, we have made a more of a concerted effort to send out bolos, be on the lookout, wanted or missing subjects. We've had a few comments about this over the last month or two, all positive. Now, behind the scenes, for more than a year, we have been working on several new additions to the services provided by Private Officer International. Services that you cannot get anyplace else. Things that no other security association, whether that be a state or national, can even compete with. And today, we're announcing 2 brand new services that will be available in the first quarter of 2023. The first thing, one that you have probably already noticed, is those wanted bulletins. We have connected with an organization that has wanted bolos nationwide. We have connected with several organizations on missing persons over the last year, and we will be sending out more and more wanted bolos from across the country on felony cases. We're not going to be sending out bolos on minor crimes. We just had one given to us over the weekend for vandalism in Ohio. We rejected it. But if it's a felony crime, murder, robbery, bank robbery, we'll be sending those out nationwide to not only the POI membership, but also to everyone within our email databases. If you don't want these, contact helpdesk@privateofficer.com and we'll take you off that list. But if you want to be included, contact helpdesk@privateofficer.com, or if you're already part of our e-newsletter database, then you will receive these very important wanted bolos. We also will be sending out pictures of missing children. Right now, we have made a decision not to include missing persons, but missing children, working with several recovery agencies, and we have talked in previous times about our connection with two national missing organizations, and we'll be talking more about that in the upcoming year. But you will receive missing children bolos and wanted subject bolos who have felony warrants. Very useful for people working in the field in various job sites. Many of you are constantly in contact with the general public, and many of you have had bright eyes and have been the reason for the recovery of missing children. Recently, several of you instantly recognized wanted fugitives and was able to help police apprehend and arrest those as well. We've highlighted those within our news and on the radio shows. That's one of the reasons why we're encouraged by these new services that we're going to be providing January 1. The other very big news announcement today is that we have started a brand new database similar to the NCIC, the National Criminal Information Center. We're calling it POIC, Private Officer Information Center. This will be membership-based. You will have access to license plates, driver's license, wanted suspects, all of the data that is generally stored in the NCIC databases. You will have access to license plates, stolen vehicles, a whole array of information. We will not be polling criminal histories as of yet, but we will be able to tell you if that person is wanted and what they are wanted for. We will announce in January the release of this new POIC database and how it will work. It will be a subscription-based service, but it's something that will help keep you safe. It will help to keep your community and your clients safe, and it will be, some have already said, a godsend to the services that they provide. Although across the country there are private police officers in dozens, about 3 dozen states, they don't always have the same access to NCIC. Many states allow private security to make arrests, citizens arrests, or even statutory arrests in places like South Carolina where security officers on the job are considered to be law enforcement, even though they're not sworn law enforcement. They are considered by statute to be while they are on the job. So all of this will help those folks and you to stay safe and to do the job better. So we're very excited about that, and we'll be bringing you more information in the first few weeks of January in the new year. We're going to take a quick break. I got sad news about the security officer deaths and some more headlines before we go into our subject, talking about 2023 and what to expect from Private Officer International. We've already told you a lot of what we're doing, but there's more to come. You're listening to the Frontline Protector, the voice of the Frontline Protector, right here on the Private Officer Beat Radio. Body Armor USA, we've got what it takes to protect you. Whether you're looking for the top quality protective armor or protective clothing, stab-resistant vest or gloves, contact my friend Ben over at Body Armor USA. Give him a call, 516 area code 817-1666. Again, that's area code 516 817-1666. Body Armor USA, we've got what it takes to protect you. No doubt about it.
Each day, those that protect and service in law enforcement put their lives on the line. These law enforcement officers often work long and irregular hours in tough and dangerous conditions, run a high risk of being attacked, wounded, or even killed by the very criminals that prey on us. Every year, hundreds of law enforcement officers are killed or seriously injured in the line of duty. Blue Alert is a system that provides the means to speed the apprehension of violent criminals who kill or seriously injure local, state, or federal law enforcement officers. Find out how you can truly help those who help. That's bluealert.us.
Human trafficking is slavery.
And it happens all over America.
Any child, any woman, any man could potentially become a victim of human trafficking.
I am a victim of labor trafficking.
I was victim of child sex trafficking, but now I own my body.
Human trafficking is any kind of forced labor.
It can happen to anybody.
I am a mother.
I am an author.
I am a son.
I'm an advocate.
I am an educator.
I'm a sister.
I am a brother.
I'm so much more than what happened to me.
I am strong.
I am brave.
I am outspoken.
I am compassionate.
I am a survivor.
I'm a survivor.
I am a survivor.
I am a survivor.
I am a survivor.
I am a survivor of human trafficking.
I want to thank one of our POI members, Danny, for reaching out by email this past week asking how I was doing and if I was recovered and back on the road to good health. Some of you, especially longtime listeners, may know that in late March and early April I had 2 operations, and they were substantial. And I am still healing from those operations and recovering. There have been a few complications along the way, and sometime, hopefully in the next week or 2, I will be going to a surgeon, and I may even face another surgery either before the Christmas holidays or soon thereafter, because a few things are not healing as quickly or as properly as they should. But thank you for reaching out, and I appreciate that. I normally don't talk about personal business on the radio show, but because this is a longtime POI member and one of our faithful listeners to the program, I wanted him and you to know I appreciate your concern. This past week, 3 security officers, 3 known security officers, and again, we don't know how many really were killed during the past week because it doesn't always make national headlines. However, a security officer was found murdered on the sidewalk in Chicago. A woman on the way to work to catch a bus discovered a man bleeding in uniform. Police and EMS arrived at first thinking that he may have been struck by a motor vehicle, that it might have been a pedestrian type accident. Paramedics quickly realized that there were multiple bruises and so forth, and determined that it was an assault. He was transported to the hospital where he died about a day later from his injuries. A security officer was killed at a gay nightclub in Colorado Springs over the weekend, an active shooter where 5 others were killed, 18 others shot, and others injured. An attacker, the shooter, was quickly apprehended by nightclub goers and possibly a bouncer. A local law enforcement arriving on scene said the man had been injured, probably by the customers, and that he was taken into custody and was being held when they arrived. There's really no information as to what the cause, the reason, why this nightclub was it targeted because they were a gay nightclub. More information obviously will come out in the next few days. A 3rd security officer was murdered in Illinois, about 20 miles outside of Chicago at a mall, shot and killed. This was during a jewelry store robbery. The security officer was armed, but for whatever reason, he did not pull his gun. Police are still investigating. We understand that the security officer was a military veteran, that he leaves behind a family. Just coming in to our office early this morning, we have not confirmed that a possible 4th security officer was also murdered over the weekend. If I get more details before the end of the program, we will be sure to bring that to you. Right now, we have about 114 security officers known to have been murdered in 2022, and dozens of others who have died on the job from accidents, injuries, and health issues. And we'll be tracking that, and we'll have those statistics for you before the end of the year. It's very, very tragic. We say this every year, but between November and the first of the year, many security officers are involved in confrontations. They are involved in robberies, such as this one at the mall of the jewelry store, which, by the way, we were told that after they killed the security officer, they walked over his dead body on the way out of the store. We know that this has been a very violent year. We're facing more violence every single year, and I don't see anything changing as security is used more and more to supplement the things that law enforcement would usually do. Security being more proactive than reactive. That observe and report model is a bunch of baloney. It never was that way. And sadly, I see no change except things are going to get worse. We have a lot of other news we need to get to here on the Private Officer Beat Radio. So let's go ahead and take a look at some of the other headlines that's making major news in the security and private law enforcement industry. Some other recent headlines of interest. The city of Foley, Alabama, that is in the southernmost part of the state, recently announced that they have joined in the many other police agencies of hiring civilian law enforcement support services. creating a new position to combat the national law enforcement hiring shortages. The Foley Police Department is going to fill 6 open officer positions with civilians. These civilians will be used to respond, to take reports, direct traffic, and help out in the community. Not a lot of information. They will not be sworn, and they will not be armed officers. They'll also work traffic enforcement in school zones and answer certain types of calls. Chief Bullock, the police chief, said that other services or job responsibilities will be announced in the future. Police investigating after one teen was killed, another arrested just outside of Atlanta in Henry County at a Kroger. An altercation in front of the store resulted in the murder of one 18-year-old, Nakeem Omar Hargrove, killed in the shopping center parking lot. Another 18-year-old, Amarian Thomas, charged with murder. Police did not say if the store had security or if they knew the reason behind the deadly shooting. Coming out of D.C. last week, all hands on deck. This is from Homeland Security. All hands on deck for the travel season. TSA and CBP, Customs and Border Patrol, along with some other civilian employees of TSA, will be on hand at the nation's airports as they expect high levels of travel to begin this week during the Thanksgiving holiday and last right through the beginning of the new year. Not really something that they're used to over the last few years. During the pandemic, travel was much lower. Now they are expecting a large portion of the U.S. and other countries' citizens to travel. It has been reported that 3 active Navy personnel have died of suicide in the last 10 days. An investigation by Wavy, a local news station, has determined 3 active duty Navy personnel committed suicide. They were assigned to the Mid-Atlantic Regional Maintenance Center. Not much information being released, but we do know that this has been confirmed. Police in Coral Springs, Florida, had to use a taser on an armed, uniformed Allied Universal Security Guard after she and several others were caught shoplifting at a Dick's Sporting Goods. The woman allegedly was also 2 months pregnant. She would not comply with police officers, jumped into a vehicle. Jamera Gaines, 22, of Plantation, was in full Allied security uniform and had a gun, now charged with grand theft and resisting, as well as 5 motor vehicle violations. The other subjects that were with her have also been charged with grand theft. One has been charged with also carrying a concealed firearm, and several have been charged with resisting arrest. We told you about the shooting. This happened over the weekend, early Sunday morning, at the Colorado Springs Gay Bar. We're still looking for more information on how many security personnel might have been killed. We know at least one, and possibly at least one that was shot. A security guard says he was assaulted. This was at the Bell Vernon Winery in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and he's filed a lawsuit. Raymond J. Wilharm of Pittsburgh filed a lawsuit alleging that on November 11th, he was assaulted at the Vinowski Winery. Derek Sezovisky was the assailant. He's also been sued. The security officer not only alleges the assault, but that his employer did little to prepare or to arm him. A Texas security guard in Hewitt, Texas, charged with having thousands of images of child pornography. Police said George Henry Gemal, 57, has pled guilty to 10 counts of possession of child pornography. He's facing 10 years in prison. TSA is now investigating after a box cutter was found on an airplane where they had to turn the plane around and head to Atlanta. The plane took off from Cincinnati, Northern Kentucky International Airport. A box cutter was found on the plane after takeoff. They landed in Atlanta. The suspect has been arrested. Now TSA is investigating how that occurred. Retired police officers in San Francisco have joined a civilian group that patrols the San Francisco Union Square community. Known as ambassadors, the civilians patrol the area, keep an eye out, extra eyes and ears for the San Francisco police. Several police officers who retired recently have joined. Joe Garrity, one of them, saying he just wanted to do something in his retirement year, and since he had this type of experience, he thought that he would be a good fit. In Statesboro, Georgia, Officer Katie Hodges with the Georgia Southern University Police was less than 2 years into her career when she received the Officer of the Year award for her actions in saving a 21-year-old from drowning in a pond on the campus. Officer Hodges says it feels good to be recognized and that she really does enjoy doing the job. A man has been arrested in Miami after identifying himself to police as a federal officer and then saying, no, it was a mistake. Nicholas Morena was stopped by officers who questioned him about his license plate. During the conversation, he told officers he was a federal officer with the Homeland Security. When officers requested identification, he said, no, they misunderstood. He was really a merchant marine. He didn't have any identification on that profession either. He's been charged. Now the Coast Guard is looking to take away his merchant marine credentials. A Customs and Border Patrol protection agent was fatally shot in Puerto Rico. CBP said the agent was shot along with two others during a gun battle with people aboard a suspected smuggling vessel off the coast of Puerto Rico. One of the people aboard the suspected smuggling vessel was also fatally shot in the exchange of gunfire. Another sad day in law enforcement. An Indiana deputy gun discharged inside a vocational training school and shot a student. The wounded South Vermilion High School student was taken to the hospital with non-threatening injuries. Dave Chapman, superintendent of the Community School Corporation, said the high schooler senior was grazed. He will be fined. Police are investigating how that happened. A drunk man in Nashville charged with threatening to blow up a Nashville hotel over a bag of potato chips. He assaulted a security officer at the hotel, the J.W. Marriott Hotel on 201 8th Avenue. The man, identified as Ryan Abadakar, 35, has been charged with assault, burglary, and public intoxication. Philadelphia also hiring civilian personnel to replace some officers after an arbitration panel ruled that Philadelphia is allowed to hire public safety civilian officers. The council went to work right away in designing the position and will begin hiring. Again, these are not sworn, nor will they be armed. They will have body cameras. They will have duties such as crime scene investigators. They will help with document examinations. They will do some patrols and various other civilian duties. A Kentucky police officer has been sued for killing an armed man during a standoff. The lawsuit alleges that Desmond LeDuc, 22, was alone in his house, was struggling with mental health. He posed no threat when Nicholasville police officer Joseph Horton shot him with a sniper rifle last month. Authorities have ruled this to be justified. the civil lawsuit is set to get underway. A former deputy has pled guilty for stealing from a security agency that he worked for. Roger David Utz had been terminated from the Sheriff's Department. He was working for Kramer Security and Investigations. It's alleged that he used the firm to purchase more than $100,000 in clothes, home security equipment, smartphones, watches, a golf court, car, and child care, among other items. He is facing a prison sentence, 1 to 10 years. He may also serve probation and be required to pay back $107,000. In Las Vegas, the Nevada DOT has hired a private security company to patrol the highways and byways after a large number of lights went black due to copper wire thefts. The officers will patrol the Charleston Boulevard and Boulder highway areas, as along with some other areas. The security patrols will spot suspicious activity and then report it to the Nevada State Police or Metro PD, as it may be. New Jersey passed a new law. It requires all house of worship to have a security plan and to file it with the state of New Jersey. The law will require large sports and entertainment facilities as well, with a capacity of more than 5,000, including movie theaters seating more than 1,000 and places of worship seating more than 500 to have security plans in place to deal with emergencies. Those plans must be approved by local police. Remember, you can go to our website at privateofficerbreakingnews.blogspot.com day or night and read the latest breaking news for yourself. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to go over a couple things coming up in the new year. You're listening to the voice of the Frontline Protector, Private Officer International, a production of Blue Ram Media Group, LLC. We'll be right back.
Slow down.
Slow down and move over.
And move over. When you see lights,
Best. Or reflectors.
please, give us some room. Slow down and move over. When you need us,
We've got your back.
you have ours.
You got our back?
You got ours? You got our back? Please, slow down.
And move over.
Body Armor USA, we've got what it takes to protect you. Whether you're looking for the top quality protective armor or protective clothing, stab-resistant vest or gloves, contact my friend Ben over at Body Armor USA. Give him a call, 516 area code 817-1666. Again, that's area code 516-817-1666. Body Armor USA, we've got what it takes to protect you. No doubt about it. Welcome back to the Private Officer Beat Radio. We are so excited that a new year is about to enter. I know some of you might be sad about losing the old year. Maybe it was been a good year for you, and you've accomplished a lot of things, and it was kind of sad sometimes to see the old year go, but we're excited to see the new year come because we've got so many great things to bring forward, so many great things that we're doing with Private Officer International, our new services, as well as with our sister company, Armor College. So many great trainings and opportunities happening there as well. But we've already spoken a little bit about bolos. You have probably noticed, like I said earlier, all of the bolos you're starting to see in your news e-alert streams if you're already signed up to our email. and if you're not, you need to be. Go to privateofficer.org. A box will drop down. Just put in your email address, and you'll start getting all of these great emails. But the BOLOs really will help you to do your job. We're starting out with missing and wanted persons. We're really excited to partner with a missing children's organization based in the Metro D.C. area, as well as a wanted organization that does nothing but track wanted fugitives. We'll be bringing you more and more of these BOLOs and alerts, and I think it's going to help you to do your job. Now, some of them will be geographical in nature. They'll only cover the southeast or the northwest, and that kind of helps separate some of these unwanted BOLOs from various areas. We'll do the best we can on that. We'll probably have some more details coming up in the early part of January 2023. We've also told you about an exciting tool with POIC, Private Officer Information Center. You'll be able to run license plates and licenses, find out if the person is wanted, find out more about their DL, if it's suspended. We're also connecting with several other databases, so we'll be able to pull up vehicle thefts if their vehicle is stolen, and a whole lot more. And as we continue to build this information center, we'll be able to provide you with more and more information. This will be member-based, but we'll have more information on that coming up early 2023. Of course, we have told you about the roundtable. This is very exciting. We'll be able to get together with our law enforcement partners. We'll be able to sit down with security companies throughout the country and have a conversation, kind of show them what's happening, what the changes in private security is, how it's gone from reactive to more proactive, what our authority and training is, and how we can really supplement and help them make their community and our community safer. We're really looking forward to this, and I really encourage each and every one of you, especially if you are a company owner or management, to be involved. Send us an email at helpdesk@privateofficer.com. If you want to, maybe schedule one immediately in your community, we will get to work doing that with you. We're also excited about the opportunity to reopen our chapters, and we're, I think this is really another tool. You'll be able to reach out not only to POI members, but to other security professionals, both uniform, LP, ORC, investigators, and law enforcement. Once a month, about 60 minutes, you'll have a meeting. You'll connect with these other professionals in the area, and I'm telling you right now, this is going to be exciting. And as part of those chapters, we're bringing back something that has been done by others for many years, for a number of years, but we're going to initiate our own coffee and security law enforcement professional. Once a month, we'll hold an event. We'll invite the business community, the neighborhood, law enforcement, and other security professionals to meet us at a place to have coffee and conversation in a very laid-back atmosphere. And this is all going to be spearheaded and worked through the chapters as well as our POI members across the country, and that includes Hawaii and Alaska. And who knows, maybe some of our international members will want to participate as well. Of course, we've got a lot of training events coming up. I'll announce a few of those here momentarily. We're really excited about the streaming platform. I told you moments ago that our first show will go live. Some gave off before Christmas, and we'll show you what it's all about. We're developing a number of programs on the streaming platform. If you want your security company to be highlighted or to be part of the streaming platform or involved in one of our shows, contact helpdesk@privateofficer.com. we're looking for companies that we can go out on patrol with, that we can sit in on training with, and kind of video some of that and highlight them on our TV platform, as well as if you have other, maybe you already have some videos from events or training. Maybe you already have a radio program on YouTube or some other hosting site, and you want it to be on our streaming platform. Contact helpdesk@privateofficer.com. We want to talk about some of the other upcoming training opportunities. Remember, helpdesk@privateofficer.com will always be your point of contact 24/7. Remember, y'all, if you're not involved, you can't say anything about the changes or lack of changes or the circumstances or what's not happening in the private security field or your community. Let's listen here about what's coming up in the training business world here. Got a lot of exciting stuff. We really do. 2023, looking bright for private security, law enforcement, POI, and I think the country. Right now, we have 4 exciting training opportunities coming up, and I hope that every one of you take advantage of them. First, right out of the gate for the 2023 new year, we're going to have our first Citizens Police Academy of 2023. Be sure to be listening to the Private Officer Beat Radio, and if you receive our newsletters, then you will definitely get that information along with the link for you to register for the 2023 Winter Citizens Police Academy. And that's really exciting stuff. You're going to learn everything from laws of arrest to de-escalation, use of force, patrol techniques, and so much more. Remember, this is free. Not going to cost you anything. You're going to get a beautiful certificate, a patch, along with membership into the Alumni Association of the Citizens Police Academy. So be looking for all of those details coming out within, just a week or two. What else do we have coming up in 2023? We are super excited to continue with our training across the country. We're going to be bringing 2-day seminars, and roundtables will be included across the country. We already have several scheduled, one in Daphne, Alabama at the Daphne Civic Center. We have one coming up in Columbus, Ohio, and we're going to put 2 or 3 more on the books. Just $100 for the 2-day event. We're going to have this 4 or 5 different 2-day special training underwritten by one of our longtime sponsors, and so we're very excited about that. We're also going to invite some vendors in and maybe a few other speakers. Not everybody just wants to hear me. I get it. So we're going to have some other speakers come in as well. We're also going to be offering a live interactive training online somewhere around late January, mid-February. You'll be able to log in to a special interactive website and participate in this training just like it was the real deal. It's artificial intelligence being used in this training, and it's pretty cool, pretty nifty actually. And then we will have a mid-year training conference. Right now we're looking at scheduling that someplace in the middle of the country within driving distance of, if you live on the East Coast or the middle of the country or the West Coast, it'll be within a day's drive. And we'll be telling you more about that coming up in the new year. Of course, we're very, very excited about the new streaming platform. Well, when is it going to be ready? We've been talking about it for months, years even. We don't believe you. No, it's really happening. There's a lot of production, a lot of behind-the-scenes legalities and other things that have to be taken care of. And we're at that point where we've got the platform. We're working on some of the shows, adding a brand new show called Some Gave All, where we will feature those security officers and private police officers that have given their life in the line of duty. And we will tell you more about their story, about their backstory, about their family, about the death of the security officer, their career in the business, and so much more. Some gave all. I am personally excited about this. And if you know of any security officers in your area that have been murdered, died on the job in a traumatic way, please contact Help Desk at privateofficer.com. Help Desk at privateofficer.com. I have a very exciting special announcement. Now, the last time that we made this announcement, we had a poor response. And I'm hoping for a different type of response this time. We are going to give away, in a competition, 3 private security and public safety businesses. No, you don't have to spend a dime. You don't pay a nickel. What you need to do, starting right now, we will announce the winners before Christmas. Send an email to helpdesk@privateofficer.com outlining your experience in law enforcement, security, or public safety. Also, why you think you would be a good candidate to manage that local office. And also, tell us more about yourself, your family, your history, your background. Are you a veteran? So on and so forth. Be it personal, intimate, upfront as possible. You will own these security public safety offices, and you will profit substantially from these ownerships. You'll receive all of the upfront training on how to run it, how to market it, and we will support from the back office all of those operational needs, including accounting, legal, marketing, resources, so on and so forth. If you would like to put your hat in the ring, contact helpdesk@privateofficer.com. Send us that essay. Be sure it's not just 3 or 4 lines, because like last time, we will not be able to help you, because we're looking for a lot more information on you and your background and what it is that you want to do and why you would like to be one of the recipients of this free business. Now, this is a patrol and public safety only, including offering services to law enforcement. So it's very exciting. No standing post, no guard work, no minimum wage. This is going to all be high end, and I can tell you from doing it for a number of years, this is going to be the best of all worlds. Remember, send an essay, helpdesk@privateofficer.com. We're looking for correspondents right now from every area of the country. This is a part-time gig. You get paid for the job, for the assignment. And we're looking for somebody who can go out and take video, somebody who can talk to other security companies or proprietary companies in the area. We will dictate the information that we need, the video that we need, what type of pictures we need for a certain project that we're working at our new streaming network. This is a pretty good gig if you are a photographer or you love photography. If you'd like being behind the microphone, contact us, helpdesk@privateofficer.com. Another great opportunity is you have the opportunity right now to put your current podcast on the new streaming network produced by Blue Ram Media Group, LLC. Now, our behind-the-scenes operation will include getting your podcast on more than 3 dozen sites, including all of the major ones, and streaming it on no less than 5 websites for one low monthly fee. If you have a podcast currently on any of the podcast platforms or YouTube, contact us today, helpdesk@privateofficer.com. And one other spectacular, actually there's 2. I can't keep up with them, there's so many. There's an opportunity for you to advertise, market your service or product on the new streaming network. Very low, for dollars at a day, just dollars for a day, literally, for you to market your service, which will include not only the new streaming platform, but our already established radio shows and social media sites and websites, including privateofficer.org, Private Officer News, the magazine, and our daily blog, privateofficernews.blogspot.com, privateofficerbreakingnews.blogspot.com. All of this for just really dollars a day, very inexpensive. Contact us today at helpdesk@privateofficer.com to learn more. And you can, I love it when I say this, I really do, you can now begin ordering membership into the streaming platform, where you will see all new content, where you will have access to videos, training, radio shows, podcasts, and so much more, all at one site. Go to the website, bluerammedia.com. Check it out today, and you can begin your membership, your subscription, right away for just $69.95. It's happening, folks. It's real. We'll be right back here on the Private Officer Beat Radio.
From coast to coast, cops are cracking down on seatbelt violations. Buckle up day and night or expect a ticket. It doesn't matter who you are or where you live, they'll be on the lookout. Cops write tickets to save lives. Click it for ticket.
Every 40 seconds, someone around the world takes their own life. Every 13 minutes, someone in the U.S. commits suicide. While you were getting ready for work this morning, in the first hour of your day, as many as 5 people in the U.S. have killed themselves. By lunchtime, about 20 people in the U.S. have taken their own life. At the end of an 8-hour workday, about 40 people in the U.S. killed themselves. In a 24-hour period, as many as 111 people in the U.S. committed suicide.